I am going to be recording and I am sharing this information on YouTube. You cool with that?
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right. So thanks for doing this little quick, short interview with me. First of all, can you tell me who you are, your name, and what business you're in?
Absolutely. Thanks, Jesse, for the opportunity. My name is Manny Soto. I'm out of Chino, California, and Costa Mesa, California. I represent the financial architects. I'm one of the managing partners in the firm and current CEO of the marketing company, the financial architects.
Awesome. How many agents do you guys have?
We have roughly, last time I checked, right around 80 licensed agents in the firm. Amongst those 80 representatives, we have about 8 brokers. So what I mean by brokers is that brokers have agents in their agency. So they are in direct contact with these different representatives, if you will, in that particular city.
Okay. So financial architects, I get that. What services do you offer? What do you sell? What are you offering?
Great question. God, that's a mouthful. We do everything from life insurance to retirement planning. Some specifics that you've heard of before is term life insurance, which is an income protection. Well, there's a bunch. That's another mouthful. Geez. So income protection in general is disability. So if you have a doctor that uses his or her hands, or a dentist that uses his or her hands, and they don't have the ability to work with their hands anymore, they need a disability insurance policy. Coupled with that, illness. So if you have a heart attack, stroke, or cancer, that's a big deal nowadays. So something to hedge that income barrier or income that you're bringing in. So if I had a stage 2 cancer, I can't work the same way that I've been working. And then lastly, which is what lots of people call life insurance, but it's upon death, you don't want to leave your family desperate and desolate, if you will. So they depend on your income, they depend on your paycheck. And if you're no longer on this earth and you've met your maker, then death benefit is pretty important. So that's life insurance. Then on the senior side of life insurance, there's final expense life insurance, where if you're north of 45 and under 85, you can pretty much get a non-medical life insurance policy with no blood, urine, stepping on a scale, blood pressure tests, nothing like that, and you'd get automatically approved, depending, of course, on the death benefit. Okay. Now, that's life. Sorry to make it a mouthful, like I said. On the retirement planning side, there is tax-free retirement strategies that are available by the financial architects. There are annuity strategies that are available with us. And depending on where senior citizens are going and what their goals are, it's completely dependent on the recommendation, if you will, on that particular annuity.
And is that only for senior citizens, or would it benefit like a person who's self-employed as well?
Everybody, whether you're self-employed, whether you're paid W-2, 1099, whether you take K-1 distributions inside of your corporation, it's totally based on whatever your needs are. So annuity in general, I have an annuity video on YouTube, but annuity in general is really something to hedge the risk of loss.
Okay, and how
long?
And
also to provide a guaranteed income for the rest of their life. I mean, there's a bunch of different bells and whistles on it.
Okay, and how long have you been in this space, in this industry?
Oh gosh, close to 2 decades now. So I got in and licensed in 2003. Holy smokes! So 15 years, 15 and a half years or so.
15 and a half years.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you, as of right now, it seems, 15 years, and I've been 15 years in real estate. And one of the things that I told myself was that, if I would say that I was in the business for 15 years, might as well like shoot me. Like, what did I do wrong, or why am I still here, right? So right. Straight up, let me ask you, what do you regret in your business that if you had an opportunity to redo, what would you do?
Oh my gosh. How long is the video? How long would we take this video?
I got
You want the top 3, or you want the number 1?
I want the number 1. I want the number 1. What do you regret? What's one thing that you, if you could go back, I wouldn't be speaking to you right now. You would be, billionaire status. I wouldn't be talking to you.
I got to tell you, the absolute number one is having my mind right. But if you're looking at technical things, I would say having a CRM system. Just to throw some other things, a waste of time people. So relationships that that are a waste of time. My buddy that makes some of my suits, he always says IPA, and that stands for income producing activity. So if anything is around you and your goal is to do this, you want to make sure to just get rid of all the minutiae and just completely focus on IPA. But having my mind right is the number one. Whereas I'll give you an example, my FIN, which stands for financial independence number, when I first got involved in the industry, it was $500,000, because I thought, okay, if I'm getting a 10% rate of return on $500,000, then I will have, by definition, retired with $50,000 a year, because that's what that's what I was living on every year. Now that's completely grown, and that's because my mindset has grown. My associations have grown. My friends, quite frankly, have grown with me. And if they haven't grown, then I've outgrown them. But technically, it would be a great CRM system. CRM stands for Customer Relationship Manager. About, gosh, you're gonna laugh, dude, but about 3 years ago, I was still using Excel. So I'd meet a random prospect, and I would grab their name and number, and I put it in an Excel spreadsheet. How genius is that? So I was ultimately becoming the Blockbuster Video of financial services, and I needed to get my act together. Now I got leads coming out of my ears, and the reason why is because I have a CRM system that is now, by the way, being duplicated by more than 80 of my representatives. So now I've not just gotten myself organized, but I've also gotten my agents organized. And if you want to add, you can get yourself organized. But if you want to multiply, let me tell you, you get your agents organized, and you're finna make some big waves in the industry. So I would say CRM system above everything. But if you're into mindset, obviously what you think about most constantly, you will eventually attract. So I was attracting all the bad things. I was in the wrong company, quite frankly. And I decided to make a switch and change and do something bigger.
How do you go about changing your mindset? Like right now, my mind's just totally jacked up. What's one exercise I can do right now to to fill the switch, establish the switch?
Well, if you believe nothing's wrong, nothing's wrong. So John Maxwell writes a book. It's called 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And in the book, he talks about the law of the lid. He talks about the 5 levels of leadership, or the 5 phases of leadership in that book. And one of the phases that he goes through is, I know what I don't know. It's kind of deep, maybe too deep for a lot of people that are listening. But if I don't know what I don't know, I get brand new in the insurance and retirement planning industry, and I don't know what to compare it against, then I think I'm in the right place. If I'm around guys that make $70,000 and $80,000 a year, and I make 100, I go, wow, I'm big time. But association is so key in figuring that out. I mean, 2 of my best friends will more than likely be billionaires, in my opinion, and they're almost a year younger than me. So these are great associations with people, and that would be number one thing to change, is your environment. If you're around losers, you will eventually become a loser, even if you're a winner.
Okay.
If you're around guys that are making big money, then you will ultimately make big money. So that would be number one to change.
Okay, so here's the hot seat question. What happened in that 1 year that you and your other 2 colleagues, are around that same time frame of where they're at to where you are at, to where you're currently at?
Ooh, great question. It's like all 3 of us scattered, and the other 2 people, the two of my best friends, they know each other, but they don't communicate with each other. So one is doing completely something different, and the other one is doing something different. Both of them are entrepreneurs, both of them are business owners. But what they did specifically is they got focused. And focus, as we all know, is an acronym that stands for follow one course until successful. So I was kind of like the step kid in this alignment, if you will, where they thought bigger. If you talk about communication, I don't think either one of them are better than me in communication or knowledge or what have you. I think that they got laser focused earlier and they were clear on the path that they wanted to go through.
Well,
So
what did you say? You were laser focused though?
nah, nah. I mean, if you asked me 10, 12 years ago, I'm waking up worrying about my worries, doubts, and fears. So I wake up in a cold sweat thinking, damn, man, is my $1,300 bill at the local BMW shop going to pay or is my salary, this commission check, going to pay my $1,300 bill for the BMW that I was driving? Just because people are driving Beamers, Benzes, and all these Bentleys doesn't mean that they're financially independent. It just means that they had good enough credit at that particular time and assets during that time to drive the vehicle. So I was living a quiet life of desperation. And I don't believe that by no points and means that I've arrived at any point in time, but I think I'm on the right trail, the right track. But I mean, you asked me 10 years ago at my practice company, I was waking up. I looked good in a suit and I had a mouthpiece on me. I could speak like no other champion could, but you know, I was still living a quiet life of desperation, making $150,000 a year, and just barely getting by. So I think those other two guys, they were down to eat cup of noodles for certain periods of time and focused, man, focused. Both of them
Did
were married. Both of them weren't worried about chasing the local woman at the local corner stop, if you will. And they had different goals in mind. So that's completely changed.
you're saying that it might have also taken them to eat a cup of noodles to wake up?
Well, the guy that I'm talking about totally knows exactly what I'm talking about. This is the dude that one of my best friends. He saved a ton of money, and the way that he did that was he didn't do no expensive restaurant. You still talk to him today. You would never know that this guy is worth multiple seven figures, but he sacrificed. This is a guy that sacrificed a lot. You can't get somewhere and not give up nothing. You have to give up something to go somewhere. It's natural. It's a law of reciprocity. It's this golden universe. It's going to give you back what you've sacrificed.
So since you're saying that you didn't wake up until not too long ago, on the focus part, it sounds like there was something that you had to give up yourself, right?
Absolutely. One of my mentors, he used to tell me, or he'd tell the group, he'd say, the space shuttle is off course 80% of the time. And I never knew that. I Googled it and I'm like trying to play nerd and stuff. But the space shuttle itself, it's off course. Majority of the time, it's off course. It's those small course corrections that it goes through that gets it to the final destination. And I believe that's somewhat similar to life. You're off course a lot of different times, but some people, they veer off course and they go, oh shit, man, I'm really off. I'm completely lost. So I'm going to drown out my goals and dreams. And I think I'm just going to settle being the manager here at XYZ Corporation because I tried this course correction and it just didn't work. It's not that it didn't work. It's that they didn't work a lot of the times.
Okay, so I'm just going to ask a question. I don't want you to personally answer it, but just give me your opinion, okay?
Oh, okay.
This life course that you're talking about, could life course be having a child? Could life course be, losing something very important to you? Like a life event is what we're talking about. That would
Absolutely.
or would actually put you on course. Because if something didn't happen, then you would still be off in outer space. But since that life event happened and maybe it wasn't a good one, but that at least got you to focus back and be aligned. Is that what do you think about that?
Absolutely 110%. Here's what, because I've coached thousands of people in my business, and I've seen people, regular people, that go, "Oh, God's trying to tell me something. I had a flat tire and I couldn't make it to my appointment, so God's telling me this isn't the time for me," or God's telling me it's not going to work out because I couldn't close this big deal, which would completely set me free. No, in my opinion, I'd say God's testing you to see if you're planning on staying the course or you're planning on giving up.
Great point of view.
There's perception is everything. Perception, success perceived is success achieved. So what I've learned through reading multiple books is there's two things that can happen in your life. There's a defining moment, number one, and number two is a paradigm shift. So my defining moment was I got written up at my previous job. True story. I worked for Triad Financial, and I managed a finance company, and I made like $78,000 my last year there. And this was a regular corporation. It was a big corporation, and I disagreed with what the manager said, and I got written up at my job. And if anybody's ever been written up on their job, you'll know it affects your whole life, your whole being. And I felt like betrayed, man. I thought, man, I'm like one of the best employees here, and I just got freaking written up. I can't believe this. It ruled my life, Jesse. So I went home thinking about it. I scolded my kids more because of it. I mean, my job dictated who I was at that particular time. That was, in my opinion, a defining moment, because I thought to myself at 28 years old at that time, I thought, you know what? This is not fair. And I might want to look at another opportunity. And then I got a call from my cousin that week saying that I'd be great in sales and I should come down to this meeting, blah, blah, blah. And that's where I got introduced to my buddy, the guy that mentored me in business, Ed Milet. So it was that defining moment that put me in that scenario. But I could have went there and could have said, "Oh, this guy's too talented. He's too good with the words." And Ed was unbelievable 15 years ago, let me tell you. And oh no, I could have designed it and flipped the script on 20 other different avenues chasing. You follow?
Okay.
The secondary thing is a paradigm shift. And this is what's really important. So that was a defining moment. So you go through things, you go, "Oh, that was a life changer." A paradigm shift is, I'll give you an example. I was at Cowboy Burger in Rancho Cucamonga. You ever been there before, Cowboy Burger?
I have.
So I had an office off of right by the church. I forget the name of it.
What is it?
But
White. Yeah, I know. I know the street.
right off White Oak.
White Oak.
So I go there and I'm grinding, bro. I'm like making dials and I forgot to eat lunch. So I go there at like 2:30, 3 o'clock, and I'm sitting there and I'm suited up and I put my jacket over the booth, and this guy walks in and these two kids walk in and they're his kids. So they're running around, dude. They're making all this noise and they're brats. And my kids aren't brats. I have 3 kids and they're not brats. And they're brats. I spank them. And one of the kids was going to put something on my coat. And right when he was about to put something, I was going to say something to the dad. And the dad leans over. He goes, "I'm so sorry. They just lost their mom 5 hours ago." Boom. Paradigm shifted my whole life. I started thinking, is life that bad? Hell no. I'm still living. I'm still alive and kicking. I still have my health. There's a lot more people that have other things to worry about rather than be worried about I'm driving a 5 series instead of a 7 series. So it puts things in perspective. So the defining moment changed me, and paradigm shifts will definitely change somebody in mentally, and not to mention the associations of people, which are huge, huge, huge.
Got it. Okay. So basically, your number one happens to be mindset, right? So the one thing that you regret in your business was not having the right mindset. Why do you regret not being able to have the right mindset? Like what? I mean, were you I mean, were you smooth with the tongue? Were you easy, on the eyes? I mean, was the ego in check?
I think we go through different, like I just said, defining moments,
Okay,
but our road traveled is completely different from one human being to the other. And I believe in the mindset category. Again, I was hanging out with people that were not supposed to be in my association at that particular time. It's true what they say. You name for me the 5 people that are closest to you, and I will probably hit who you are within about a couple inches. The amount of money that you make, the amount of conversation that you have, the gossiping or non-gossiping, the spiritual side of an aspect of you, et cetera, et cetera. So part of that mindset switch and the change were those two things. But along the pathway, you go through different life events that you pick up different experiences at the same time.
perfect.
It's not, it's almost like if you ever did a flashback, right now on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. I don't know if you've seen this or not, Jesse, but you see, like, this was me 10 years ago and this is me today. It's driving me crazy, bro. But I almost got tricked into it, bro. I was like, I was like thinking, dude, where was I 10 years ago, right? But it's almost like that where you don't recognize yourself. So think with me. If I absolutely knew that I could create, here's me 10 years from now. Here's me today. If I absolutely knew that I could transform this guy, this being, this dude right here, and all his beliefs and thoughts and passion that goes with them, and I could now put it into this guy, where now he goes, shit, this guy's incredible. This guy's unbelievable. I didn't even know that he had the capability to do it from this to there. All you have to do, this is real stuff that I've learned in the past couple of years, quite frankly. All you have to do is think about it every single day.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Give you an example. Do not think about a blue elephant. Guess what the first thing that comes up?
It's
A
white.
blue elephant.
Oh,
You follow what I'm saying, though?
yes, yes.
So if you don't have a goal, how are you ever going to get there? So number one is I have to have a goal. What is my goal? And then act as if you've already accomplished the goal. And then you start attracting the right people and associations and knowledge and events. And oh my gosh, this happened. And I met this person out of nowhere. I couldn't believe it. And then boom, this is you 10 years ago. But if you don't know where you want to be, it's course corrections that you've never corrected, and you're chasing 6 different rabbits trying to find one.
Okay.
Ain't gonna happen.
Any daily routines you do? Affirmations, a motivational video at the gym. I mean, anything? What do you do?
Number one, I'm absolutely grateful. So I wake up, I jump up out of bed, and I I have an alarm that goes off in my phone 4 times a day on a bunch of different specifics. I have one alarm that goes off 4 times a day. I have another alarm that goes off on my phone 4 times a day. And then I have a prayer in the beginning of my day. And then at the end of my day, I have another goal setting technique. Goals are here, or phones are here to stay, ladies and gentlemen. So I need to make that a force of mine instead of a crutch. So I make $300,000 a month. That's a reminder inside of my phone. My mind goes, the unconscious and the conscious are 2 different things. So my unconscious goes, yeah, I believe that. And my conscious mind goes, who can never, $300,000 a month, come on. And the regular guy outside looking in, some of you guys that are watching the video right now are like, he'll never make $300,000 a month. Watch me, motherfuckers. That's just something that happens. So I know I'm specific about what I want, and inevitably I'm going to get it. It doesn't matter what you think because I know it to be true. So one of the reminders that I have every single day is boom, I make $300,000 a month. I make $300,000 a month. I make $300,000 a month. If I absolutely knew I was going to accomplish that, who would I be hanging out with today? What would I be doing? Would I be doing IPA or would I be gossiping? I ate lunch right now at my desk. I have meal plans. Who goes and does lunch for an hour and a half and wastes their time? Not this guy. Not a guy that makes $300,000 a month. So the
Awesome.
conversations that I have are different. The relationships, quite frankly, you, Jesse, that's why I associate with you. That's why I associate with different people that I know that are, bam, they're bigger and they're better and they're going someplace. And that's just my association. That's who I am.
Super,
So,
super
so
cool.
that's what I think about every day. I'm grateful. I have my forced incantations and I'm constantly thinking above and beyond. I'm not worried about, oh, hey, what about this? Did you hear the gossip? All that kind of stuff that's employee kind of stuff. That's the guy that goes and clocks in and says, oh, I want to do this for the rest of my life. No, you didn't. I bet you'd be okay making $300,000 a month. The fact that you're not going after it is because you chose the red pill or whatever the Matrix has on there. Red pill, blue pill. I don't know what pill it was. You chose this pill.
You chose
You
the
had
wrong
the
pill.
option. What was it?
You chose the wrong pill.
You chose the wrong pill. Doesn't really matter what color it is. This is the wrong pill. This is the right pill. You chose, well, they're both right, but you chose this one. You made the choice to go there. That's okay. That's fine. It's no, I don't mind on that. Honestly, I have lots of clients that are employees and they live by a different code, and God bless them. I think that's awesome. But I'm talking to more of the entrepreneurs that they're thinking about and what they're attracting and things of that nature. If you worry about stuff or you have doubts or you have fears, guess what's going to compound? Your worries, doubts, and fears. Stop being a crybaby. Yeah, it's your fault.
So, Manny, if you could go out and have someone avoid what you went through, what's the one bit of advice that you could give them today?
Be clear. Have clarity. By the way, all these questions that he's asking me, I did not at all role play. I know them like the back of my hand as it is right now because I'm super clear. If you'd have asked me this 2 years ago, I'd be like, but clarity is king. I did a training this morning. Every Monday morning, I have full-timers meetings at my office. And I had 18 people here. It was a great meeting. We got off to the right start. But my message at the end of the meeting was your idle time, the idle time that you have by yourself, that you're doing your thinking. This is your think tank, right? This is what's most important. Idleness by yourself is the devil's playground. So you know how you have your angel and you have the devil on this shoulder? You being idle and not having activity, constant activity. I'm busy. My mom, she's like, Mijo, you're always so busy. That's right. That's right, Mom. I'm on top. My dad, he's like, man, that's awesome, son. You're going. Yeah, Dad, I'm busy. I'm doing stuff. I'm boom, 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 boom. I have to be busy because the idleness will cause my brain to think too much about what could happen and what if this happens or what if that happens? What if the sky's gray? What if the sky's blue? I don't care. I don't care about Trump being president. I don't care about this dude or that girl being president. That has nothing to do with me and my activity. I can control my activity and my attitude. I can't control who's president. So why would I even be complaining about it? Or I have someone really out there that just every single time they want to talk about, oh, it's because of this and it's because of that. I'm just like thinking to myself, man, I need to get the hell out of here. Like, that has nothing to do with your position in life. What affects other people? No, it affects them because they keep thinking about it. And that's because you keep bringing it up.
Mm-hmm. No, it makes perfect sense. Wow.
So I'd say clarity, bro, being clear on what you want. My dad asked me the other day, maybe I'm getting too personal, but he goes, Mijo, man, you're making all this money. You're doing all these great things. You're opening an office in Orange County. You're blah, blah, blah. Why don't you get married? That came from left field, dude. And I had to address it with him. I go, Dad, I don't believe me getting married at this particular time is of importance. My goal is this. And if that, during the course of that, I get married, terrific, that's awesome. But so many people, what I hear, which is really sad, bro, and I'm going to be an advocate on this. They get into relationships or they get into marriage or they get into a business opportunity anything, and they go, I'm getting older. I think I should settle down. Since when does that have anything to do with love? Like, I want to be married because I love somebody. I want to
Right.
be married because I share this enjoyment of life with this particular female of mine. You know, I don't want to get married because, whew, it's time. How, dude, sell me the nightmare on that, bro. I never understood. Well, I take that back. I actually did understand it when I was thinking regularly, but now that I'm thinking above average, I'm like, I just don't believe in that. I don't agree with that.
It's so crazy you say that. Not to put the spotlight on me, but same predicament. You know, I have people, and they always say, you know, Jesse, it sounds like you're never satisfied. You're always switching direction, and I'm like, no, no. It's if I stand still, I'm about to get hit, and that's the thing. I mean, no, you got to keep moving. You got to keep moving. Not that I'm not happy with my life. It's,
Right.
you know, there's more to it.
That's exactly, dude. That's why we're here, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Here's what I'll tell you is that dogs don't chase parked cars. I never see a dog chasing after a parked car. You know what I mean? Like a car, woo! It's like they're chasing the greyhound doesn't chase a stagnant rabbit. Like we got to consistently be chasing something. That's what makes us move as individuals. That's what, in my opinion, keeps me young.
Right.
I want to keep going, man. I want to boom, 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 boom. I'm sure that once I accomplish my goal, I'll probably come up with a bigger goal by the time I get there. But hey, that's my prerogative. That's something that I'm chasing after. You know?
So let me ask you, because this is going to be, I'm going to do another little segment with you down the line, but how do you turn it off? How do you turn that switch off to enjoy your success?
I
Um,
got to tell you, dude, I'm having the time of my life at the same time. I just got back from Las Vegas. I had a meeting out there with a new broker from Miami. For those of you that don't know me, I have two sectors of my business. Number one, I have an agency with 80 some odd different brokers and agents inside of it. And then my other side is I help create different insurance and retirement businesses uh, throughout California and domestically here in the States. So I've been visiting Scottsdale recently, Las Vegas, Miami, and I have a blast while I'm out there. And I took my mom and my daughter with me to Vegas, and we took a road trip. You know, I ain't too big time not to go drive to Las Vegas, so I don't know if I'll ever do that again. But so we drove to Vegas. We had a great time, and we stayed at Palazzo, which is right next to the Venetian. And my daughter was on the gondola. You know, she was in a suite. She was looking out on the city. And these are things that I love to create for my kids. You know, my son is 19. He's in the Navy, and he's stationed in Spain. And I love the kid. I miss him to death right now. But that's all part of I want to foster independence in my kids so that they can grow to be better human beings. And the only way that I'm going to do that is I show them a great example, number one. And number two, I make it look easy. So if you ever sit down with me, I'm not sitting there talking, let me tell you about my stress today. And let me tell you, I had to deal with 4 different agents' complaints. And I don't go through all that crap. You know, I make it look easy, man. You ever follow me on social media? I'm not talking about nothing negative or did you hear the gossip? Nothing like that. I'm talking about some fun, upbeat things. My oldest, who's 21 years old, love my son to death, man. And he does construction. You know, he's doing some grinder ass work right now, and I got to praise him because at least he's earning an income. The guy's earning an honest income, and he's a hero to his daughter. I'm a grandpa, but he's a hero to his daughter, and he's a great dad. And I love my kids and living through my kids, but at the same time, I do turn it off, and I'll actually mix business with pleasure. So I went to Vegas, spent the whole day with my daughter and my mom, and then I hit the club at 11:30 at night with my buddy from Miami. We talked about business for 5 minutes and then partied it up. I just got back from Miami last week, went to Vegas again 2 weeks ago. I've been to all over the place, dude. I went to Cabo in December. It's like I take a trip every single month. And lots of these trips, or on the company's dime. Like a lot of these insurance and investment companies, they take you on the trips. So the trips are comped.
Hmm.
So I've done about a dozen trips in 2018. And this year, I think I'm going to scale back a little bit on the trips, even though I like them, but I've already been on 4 trips this year. So I don't know how realistic that is. I love traveling. So that's one of the things that I like to do. And when I do go home at about 11 p.m., I shut it off, everything. And I know 11 p.m., you go, oh man, wow, that's late. Well, I'm not the early riser at 4 a.m. So I'll rise about 7 or 7:30, and I normally go to the gym and I enjoy my life. So I'm in the office, contrary to what a lot of people might see. I'm in the office at 10 a.m. So
That's my
I'm
clock.
not,
I come in at 10 as well. That's
hey
awesome.
doc, hey association, bro. So
That's
so
super cool.
that's I want to live my life on purpose. I don't want to live a life by chance or and if you notice, a lot of my language is from books, tapes, and CDs. I had a great mentor in my life, and I'll always be grateful for that man. And my dad is a great mentor still. He's retired now, but he has massive wisdom. So I'm really blessed uh, in business and personally right now. I mean, things are rocking, and I only see bigger things in the near future.
Well, Manny, thank you so much for sharing that, and especially getting personal with
Thank you.
the bit at the end. But once again, I'm gonna drum up some additional questions, and
Awesome.
if you give me some time, we'll do this again.
No doubt, man. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And I mean, I look forward to being on the next episode. If anyone wants to follow me, on Instagram. I'm at Retirement Options, and on Facebook, it's Manuel Soto. Uh, what else? Our website, tfainsuranceadvisors.com, or you can reach us at 888-350-5396. We got a Yelp too. 5 stars.
Awesome. Thanks, Manny. You
All right,
got it.
buddy.
You heard it here.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Bye,
I'll see you,
guys.
buddy. Bye.